T-minus 2 days until galactic paragons, and I'm not just saying that because the Modian's combat computers can see the future now. Hello, Legion, this is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris First Contact and our Clandestine Curiosity series. So we are going to continue trucking right along as best we can. Hello. Looks like there's been another use of the World Cracker by the Igarians, which is interesting because I think whenever they do that, yeah, we're still 20,000 points ahead, but I think that whenever they do that, they do get a boost to their score. Let's see this. No, there's no category for that. I might be wrong, though. I feel like maybe I'm thinking of the crisis mechanics, which are different. The Dithakan Alliance joined the Galactic Strategic Allegiance. Nice. So there's another federation forming, apparently, that involves the Dithakan Alliance. I don't know who you're talking about. Governor Matilda Ponsonby seems to be approaching the limits of her capabilities, and Governor Adelaide Pitt has developed new skills. So she has the intellectual trait, and Governor Danceflin has the architectural interest trait. Nice. So a couple of good upgrades there. Are we done with all of our upgrades? We have one more. Alright, so this ship, or this fleet, is moving to the terminal egress station now. But what we're focusing on right now, in case you missed it, is we're doing everything we can. Oh, Eisenbury actually needs a governor. I can do that. We're doing everything we can just to very thoroughly finish out this series on a nice, strong, high note, to the best of our ability. It's going pretty well. There's not a lot that can stop us from doing it at this point. I just want to keep an eye on these fallen empires and make sure they're not doing anything that's jacking their score up to an insane degree. Alright, so this upgrade is now finally done, which means I can tell the Titan to install this combat computer. And now I can have all of my fleets upgrade again.
Ships ready for action.
Now, one interesting development from the last episode that you might recall, we're 15 minutes from the end of the game now. Or not 15 minutes, we're 15 years, but it feels like we're 15 minutes from the end of the game. One very interesting development is the Latrepians have rivaled us. Their relationship with us is improving now, which is adorable. But honestly, at this point, if they were to declare war on us, we would run circles around them and then some. It would be hilarious. I've decided to stick to my guns, especially because we no longer have the ability to liberate the Sibylan Hive from them, since the Sibylan Hive has liberated themselves, and not declare war. I'm not going to go against the Modians' ethos. They're fanatic pacifist, but if there's a defensive war... Ooh, the Igarian Restorers are down here. They came through the wormhole. Man, the Igarians are really making a lot of progress. Hang on, let's look at this. Let me come up here and see what I can do about... There's a couple things that I could possibly do here. We have this station in Dolphin. Let's go ahead and build a couple more anchorages and then upgrade to a citadel. And then why don't we, on top of that... Oh yeah, let's do an ice mining station. Why not that? It looks like all of our ships are... Oh, wait, no. Hang on.
The fleet has been
now you can upgrade. There we go. Yeah, so interestingly enough, the Igarians are just doing their own thing down here. Wrecking face. Really trying to reestablish some kind of hegemony. And it looks like the Sidran Index up here, which is this brand new machine intelligence, might be angling to take a chunk out of them up here. It doesn't look like they're particularly strong, though. So if they were to come for us, they would have another thing coming. Also, economically, we are completely and utterly full. And it's absurd. Let's see if there's something that I can do about that. We have a wonder building... Yeah. Let's go ahead and get that built. Why couldn't I select that? Is it just because of the sheer number of things? Yeah, we have an archaeology site, an archaeological expedition location in Ledelican that was slowing us down, preventing us from actually doing anything with that system in terms of just clicking on something here that would let me just have access to a wonder like this. That would have made things nice and easy, but no. Let's take another look at the outliner. Anything here? Not particularly. Let's take another look at the victory score. They are catching up. They're trying. Credit where due. They are trying. So... jingoistic reclaimers is what they are. So they're just, yeah, they're just trying to set the world on fire, basically. Their fleet power is overwhelming compared to ours. And they're just trying to take as much territory as possible. Could we potentially set for the galactic focus? Yeah, there's no way for us to focus on those reclaimers.
Intellectual booty.
Sad to say. There's no way to do it. Strike craft attack speed. Yes, please. Also, are there any... Let me look at this real quick. Are there any of these... Oh, wow. I'm not running fleet supremacy. I don't think I need that right now, though. I don't need any of those. There's an argument that I no longer need research subsidies, but it's fine. Now, all of these I can easily activate. It's crazy that I haven't already. Exotic gases for shield boost. I don't need terraforming gases. It's too late. Focusing crystals for energy weapon damage. And how much living metal do I have? Just +1? It's not enough. Sight beyond sight. Nice. Let's go ahead and run that, because I actually do have enough Zero to run that bonus. That's fantastic. I don't have enough volatile motes, though, to turn these on, which makes me instantly sad. I might, however... Yeah, I could run one of these. Although, I don't really need to, is the thing. I really don't. I could run Fortress Proclamation, which does make a bit more sense to run that. Because now what I can do with Fortress Proclamation, while I have the clock running, is I can go ahead and start building just copious amounts of defenses in various stations. So I can upgrade these here.
The fleet has been refitted.
Alright.
Technology secured.
I might even be able to fully build these out. Yep, that's all of them. Alright, and then energy weapon attack speed is done. So let's go ahead and we could continue with that. Energy weapon damage. Explosive weapon damage, go for it. Let's just keep leveling up. It really does seem like the Agarians are just going all out as best they can. Credit where due, but they're 20,000, soon to be 21,000 points behind, and we're closing in on the 10-year mark. We do have some obvious opportunities with some newer colonies here, so I will go for things that maybe need to be removed, like those. What else? Oh, yeah, Maraveni. You need more housing, so let's go ahead and just build a city district. Port Eleanor does actually have an opportunity for an additional job, which I could upgrade something on an existing planet, maybe, or just let one of the things that I'm building right now take the job when it's done, which I think that's what I'll do. Alright, it seems like the upgrades are done. All of my fleets are over 100k power. That's good. Yeah, we do have the Rallikith United Colonies pledging secret fealty to us. More world cracking going on. So the Modians are just blowing stuff up. Hang on. It looks like they are... Oh, wow. They're destroying capital planets belonging to the Latrepians up here. Pretty significant losses there. Pretty significant losses. I don't feel bad for them. Well, I kind of do. Just not a lot. They just declared me a rival, so I can only afford to feel so sorry for them before I just stop caring. Alright, I'm going to put a gene clinic here. Which tile does the gene clinic appear under? Because I keep having to scroll for that, and it's a lot. Not under all. Is it under pop assembly? No.
We have cleared the path to new lands.
It's not under government. It's not under manufacturing. It's not under research. It's not under trade. It's under amenities. That's where it is. Interesting. Yeah, it doesn't show up once you've already given the order. But it's under amenities. Question answered. All right, so we've cleared a few blockers. Strategic Coordination Center hull is done. Let's go ahead and build the next piece. Oh my god. I just bought 10,000 alloys. Did you see that? Did you see that? I just bought 10,000 freaking alloys. It's absurd. It's absurd. There's no reason that I should just have that much money to throw around right now. But I'm making 3k energy. 3k. I dare the Agarians. I mean, I could declare war on them right now just to get them to stop doing what they're doing. It does seem like there's been some success on getting rid of them here. But it would also... I don't know that it makes a lot of sense. The Modians have mostly sat back and just observed. They are the Galactic Custodians, but I don't know that they have a motive for going after the Agarians. Because the Galactic Custodian role has been more of a power play for the Modians. It's not necessarily a responsibility that they have taken upon their shoulders out of some virtue. They're fairly isolationist in nature. I am pretty confident that if I had my fleets in the right position at the right time, I could do pretty well against these guys. And of course, fighting against a fallen empire, I would gain very powerful technologies, which would allow me to further upgrade my ships. So, you know, that's worth noting. But again, we're approaching the 10-minute, or the, not 10-minute, there I go again. We're approaching the 10-year mark. And I just don't think that there's a good justification for going for an all-out war. You know what I can do, though? We can get some moats going here. All right, what did we just pass? I don't even know what we just passed. Repeal the Guardian Angels Act. Okay. I'm actually kind of all right with that. Guardian Angels can be a handful.
We grow ever stronger.
All right, so another thing that I can work on in this kind of lull is I can get some additional hyper relays built over here. So let's work on that. Oh yeah, that's right. I'd forbid travel through Yillian.
Technology secured.
All right, I'm going to do an ancient refinery in a couple of places. Now, what's interesting is I just realized a couple of times that icon has popped up, it's been telling me that I'm low on housing, and I've built like something here. So what I really need to do is go for some city districts just to provide some housing. I haven't reacted. Like right here, I'm building alloy nanoplants and civilian replica complexes. That's not going to help. So let's build a city segment there. That's my bad. It's one of the issues with being in this particular mode. We're really just trying to play through for the remainder of the game. We've been largely victorious. Things are going well. Strikecraft attack speed has been improved. Let's go ahead and improve strikecraft damage as well. But yeah, I just missed that. Space Storm Sorry arrives. The journey begins. We are witnessing the inhabitants of Ublia 2A taking their first steps towards enlightenment. They look upwards, opening themselves to the mysteries of the universe. As artistic expression develops within their culture, so does art's power to capture the spiritual striving of their society. They yearn for something beyond themselves to believe in. Acknowledged. Fascinating. So what age are they? Late medieval age. Huh. So they're approaching the Renaissance. Federation level unlocked. So we are now level 3. But federal attaches, interior lines, and Federation influence gain. That's quite nice. It just sure would be nice if...
Technology secured.
So yeah, see, now that we're level 3, I can totally... Ooh, we can go ahead and say... I can call this vote. Let's propose medium Federation centralization. Vote yes. Do it. I didn't realize we could call that vote, but we totally can. Let's see if we can take control of the Federation. I very much doubt it. But we can try. Void superiority, go forth and conquer. Nice, so we have access to the Juggernaut. Reach into the Shroud. Increase weapon strength, please. Exit the Shroud. Thank you for that. Appreciate the opportunity. I've got one fleet that I'm pretty much just sitting on. Are you completely done? You are completely done. So why don't we go ahead and build more... Alright, so that hyper relay is done there. You build one in Upstaff.
Research complete.
Go ahead and build one there. Energy weapon damage improvement. Very nice. Let's go ahead and improve energy weapon attack speed as well. We are now 9.5 years from the end of the game. Making decent progress. Alright, Barnaby, calm the F down. Let's go ahead... Oh, we could be there 115 days if we just attack directly, so let's do that. Osis Machine Fleet. So this is the Sidron Index, interestingly enough. Alright, Strategic Coordination Center Comms is done. Let's go ahead and build the next stage of that. And you know something? I could do more. There's nothing holding me back. Alright, I've got all of my construction ships working on just hyper relays at the moment, but I can get another wonder going. Low fleet contribution, so... Hang on, let me take a look at this. So this changes it to medium fleet contribution. Let's go ahead and say yes. This means that we will generally start moving towards being just a stronger, having a stronger navy in the Federation. Members transfer 20% of their naval capacity to the Federation, allowing you to make more militaristic choices if you so choose, or just to have, stronger defenses. Either or. Alright, so it seems like we got away with that there. part of me wants to go just hit the Sidrons right now. It's going to take 144 days for my new fleet to reach them. But I'm going to do that. Because they just made a mistake entering my territory. We are the permanent galactic custodian. And we're going to make them pay. They're going to regret their incursion into my space. Period. And actually, hang on, let's go ahead and have the brand new Juggernaut follow behind the Green Fleet. Looks like it's only 70 days behind, too, somehow. Not sure how it got so close, but that's nice. Alright, so the Ribellan Station, where is that again? Ribellan Vortex? Oh, yeah. This one, actually, we could really benefit from having some nice defenses in place here. So let's do a command center, a couple of ion cannons. Okay, do I... Oh, wow, I actually have next to no alloys. That's unexpected. Okay, that's enough to get started. We obviously need to build up some more alloys before we go too ham with that, and that's fine. I think it's important to have good defenses in place with regard to the terminal egress, even if things are just progressing this smoothly. Yeah, we're now nearly 21,000 in the lead. It's a pretty solid lead, all considered. It looks like the Rhiannon Galactic Coalition is already moving. So these are our allies. Senate is now in session. Natural sanctuaries, diplomatic weight from economy. No, I don't want this. The custodian votes against it. Go away. Don't make me declare the Galactic Empire at the last second just to strike down all of your stupid laws. Thank God the Tianki haven't bothered me in a while. Can we just take a moment to appreciate that? That hasn't happened in an age. Okay, so I'm definitely just going to reactivate that wonder so that we can continue to build wonders as rapidly as possible. Speaking of that, I don't quite have the alloys to build one, but I think now I do. Yeah, we can do a mega shipyard site. I think it makes sense to have the mega shipyard in terminal egress if I can swing it. Doesn't look like I can. Pandil? Esmeek? Aha! We can build one in Dwitham. So it looks like we need a single star in order to build those. That's fine. We can manage that. Closing in on 8 years remaining. Not 8 minutes, 8 years. Forterton needs an additional district, so why don't we go ahead and build an industrial district? Because it does actually seem like we might finally be heading towards a deficit. The end of the Sidron Index. There we go. So that mess was just ended quite handily. It looks like by the Fallen Empire. Yeah, so we have the Pestilent Armada here. Wait, are we in charge of the Federation right now? Why am I seeing that? Whoa, when did that happen? I'm sorry, what? How are we president? Okay, let's see if we can go for the next level of centralization. I really doubt we're going to make it all the way down this particular... Yeah, we gain 10 XP every month. We're currently at 246. We're at 256 now. So we need... Hang on, let's do this. Let's do this. It's 4,444, actually. 4,444 is how much we need, I think. Wait. $4,544. So that's 10 XP every month. We're looking at 454 months. Yeah, there's no way. There's not enough time left. It's a nice thought, but at least we're the president of the Federation as we end the series.
Intellectual booty.
And Barnaby is still going on and on about his booty. So, monthly unity plus 5%, very nice. We have a brand new world that we can colonize in our home system that I pretty much just forgot about, to be honest. Port Hargreaves is going to be the name of it. Let's take another look at this. Yeah. The Agarians are making impressive progress, but we're just becoming so much more powerful than them so quickly. We're gaining so much economic momentum that they can't keep up. Crown Princess Rosemary Belvedere is the new heir to our empire, and will take the throne when our current ruler dies. Oh my god, I cannot wait for Galactic Paragons, y'all. It's going to be incredible to finally have some real leader dynamics in this game. Like, I can't even begin to express how excited I am. Alright, the Strategic Coordination Center is fully operational. So now, do I still have that? Let's see what else I can do. I think I did give the order. Yep. So that mega shipyard site is being built. But we can do better than that. We can still build something else. So we can build an interstellar assembly site. We could build a quantum catapult site. I haven't done much with the quantum catapults yet. But it's not really necessary, is it? We haven't done much with the orbital rings at all this series. We've had plenty of other distractions. We could do another science. We could do any of these things. Oh my god. Alright, yeah, there's not even a need for any of that. Let's cruise. Let's enjoy this cruise into the sunset for our second series of 2023. It's been... I'm not going to go into postmortem mode just yet, but I'll have some stuff to say when we're done. Some of which I've kind of mentioned offhand in the last couple of episodes. But I'll go into a bit more depth when I'm done. This has been a series that has happened on the channel. To put it somewhat tongue-in-cheek. This has been a series that has happened on the channel.
Research complete.
Alright, so they're continuing to crack worlds open left and right. I'm going to go ahead and improve defense platform damage. And there it is. We are 7 years from the end of the game.
They wish to speak with us.
Research agreement proposal. Form research agreement. We have much to learn from each other. No, sorry. I don't know why you think that would be a good idea, but I am not interested, sir or madam. Normuth.
Technology secured.
What do we have here? Let's improve energy weapon attack speed.
Establishing a new colonial outpost.
We're going to build a hyper relay on Birzun. And I guess I'll build one in Ublia as well. Alright, so natural sanctuaries. I don't like this law. I want to vote against it. I kind of want to veto it, to be honest. But I can't. It's too late. I have favors that I could call in, but that wouldn't tip the scales. I could buy favors. I could buy so many favors. If I... That's one thing I could do. I could see if I could buy enough favors to end the frickin' Tianqi law. Because God knows I have enough economic strength, you know, to try for something like that. All right, I want you to build a hyper relay there when you're done. You're done there, so I want you to build a hyper relay in a seer. Birchville, what do you have? All right, so this actually is an opening to provide someone a job. So I'm going to go for an industrial district, as opposed to me misinterpreting the signal, or misinterpreting the symbol, I should say, and building a job-related building that doesn't have any housing when the planet is in fact saying, hey, we need more housing, we need room for people to live. And I'm like, oh, here's things for you to do. And then they look at me like, that's not what we wanted, Hadrian. Why do you do this? Why are you the way that you are? All right, so we have this juggernaut right here hanging out with the Green Fleet. We are less than 6 years now away from the end of Clandestine Curiosity. Still climbing in our advantage. All considered, Margaret Cornwallis has leveled up. All right, I can probably go ahead and build, mega shipyard. Let's go ahead and get that done. God, it's going to be done in a year. One stage of it anyway. Also, I have a ton more starbase capacity now. I'm guessing just from population growing rapidly, which means one thing I could easily do here is I could go ahead and build an additional station and improve my naval capacity through that station. And I wouldn't even feel bad about it. It would just work. The Earthius station, you have just some basic upgrades to do. Cybrix Alpha. Interestingly enough, this is one that I haven't messed with. Let's do an Ancient Rampart, Hangar Bay. And then I guess a listening post wouldn't be the worst idea here, followed by the Citadel upgrade.
Ready for action.
Can't do anything with you here because of this territory belonging to the Latrepians. The Latrepians are still hostile toward us. They're belligerent in their diplomatic stance, but they're inferior, fleet power-wise, they're inferior economically, and they're pathetic in their technology level. So it's like, I dare you to do something.
We grow ever stronger.
All right, so we've mostly got that particular station built out. Obeyshoff. Go ahead and upgrade all, please. Wow. I just have more minerals and energy credits than I know what to do with now. And we're not even trying to destroy the galaxy this time. We're just cruising towards, we're less than 5 years now. I think, you know what? We're going to ride this out. This is it. And of course, you know this because you're watching the episode from the beginning. You saw the thumbnail. It says final episode. So I didn't go into this thinking it would necessarily be the last one. And the reason for that is... let's increase weapon strength. Nice. The reason for that is I thought maybe there might be a war of some kind. A war that might create additional strife for me as we move towards the end of the series. But that has not materialized. All right, defense platform damage improved. Let's go ahead and just improve kinetic weapon attack speed. Mega shipyard framework done. So it does look like I need to buy some additional alloys. That is a very loud storm. Thank you. Appreciate the loudness of it. There we go. Back to speed 3. Okay, so we failed... Oh, nice! So Natural Sanctuaries failed. Notchclock Salamanda has leveraged their council powers to declare the resolution and repeal minor research sanctions an emergency measure. No. I'm going to vote against that. Sorry. I don't know why you want that, but my answer is no. And my answer is final. Alright, I want you to build a hyper relay there. I want you to build a hyper relay... Hold on. There are certain systems that I have that should have hyper relay lanes built, and I just haven't gotten around to it, but now I have so much in the way of spare resources, it's worth just... What's this? Alright, fine. We'll end our rivalry with you. They're now receptive to us. Their diplomatic stance is still... No, that's the Sibylan Hive. The diplomatic stance is still belligerent. They open their borders to us? That's interesting. We'll tell you what, let's establish an embassy with them. Let's be pacifist in the end here. And try and reconnect. Monthly unity plus 5%. Strike craft damage plus 10%. Let's do it. They did accept the embassy, so we're good. The Rhiannon Galactic Coalition wants to form a research agreement. I'm going to go ahead and say no. They just want to tap into that awesome Modian knowledge base. And that ain't happening. Alright, so the ship build speed is 33% faster right now. In 100 days, the Mega Shipyard Framework will be able to do even more. Yeah, I really wish I would have been able to get farther with the Federation. But we might mess around with that more in the next series. We'll have to see. Alright, building cost minus 5%. Ooh. Alright, so the Space Storm's gone. The Trepian Star Hierarchy Association with the Federation. Yes. That's fantastic. Alright, so that's a huge step in the right direction. We may actually... Hang on, let me look at the victory screen. Oh my god, look how low they got.
Our star base is under attack.
Alright, where? Where is this happening? Here. Okay, that's fair enough. Alright, I'm going to send the green fleet. They'll be there in 314 days. However, the turquoise fleet can be there in 63 days. So just get that done, please. Some last-minute piracy drama. Yeah, you can definitely see the Agarians trying to retake as much territory as they can. Mega Shipyard Core has been built. And now, yeah, let's go ahead. A couple of things here. I need to sell off a lot of my excess there. Let's also sell, I've got a lot of dark matter that I can get rid of. There we go. Alright. I have to wait for that to build back up manually because the market for alloys is so wrecked. Whoa, those pirates are already dead. Get wrecked. That's freaking funny. I wasn't expecting it to go that poorly for them. Although, to be fair, I don't know what I was expecting. Because we are clearly one of the most powerful empires in the galaxy right now. We're not necessarily the most powerful because we got this fallen empire going around, swinging itself to and fro. If I can put it in a slightly vulgar way. That's what's going on. That's clearly what's going on. We're just trying to mind our own business. We defeated the Dothakans, who turned out to be a massive paper tiger. Anything more that I can do here? No. Alright, we're cruising towards the 3-year mark. Oh my goodness. We're also approaching the 40-minute mark for the episode, but the thing is, it was either end this at like 35, 40 and then have a maybe 15, 20-minute episode, or just have a finale when, the end of the series is clearly within reach. So what can I say about this? I mean, this is... First of all, let me see if I can... Can I propose full membership status for you? I'm actually not interested right now, which is interesting. But their relationship with us is improving, so maybe that'll change. So, as we move towards the end, we're less than 3 years now. I've mentioned over the past couple of episodes that one of the major sources of, like, discord for me in this series was getting excited about this particular twist that I used with the lore. It's a very idiosyncratic thing, but it's very honest, what I'm telling you. I wrote Barnaby, which is the advisor voice, into the lore. First time I've ever done that because I loved his enunciation, his attitude, his accent so much. I had never heard him in a war, and clearly that was an oversight, because as soon as we started to hear him in a war, especially in a situation where I'm trying to commentate and play, and we constantly have this AI going, a ship is lost to the waves, a ship is lost to the waves, you know, blah, blah, blah. It was a lot to deal with, and I all of a sudden wanted to cut him off. And when I did that, it felt like I was cutting out a piece of the series' heart that I had not anticipated needing to cut out in that way, and that was frustrating. So I've mentioned that. I've described that already. Aside from that, so I started this series a week after getting back from a destination wedding for a dear friend of mine. And almost immediately within 24 hours of this series starting, worked really hard to get the series up and going. This is my first series that I've done in support of a new Stellaris release since I brought my channel back online. So it really meant a lot to me to do like a good job with the series. I don't think it's been great. I think it's been mediocre as far as my series go at best. And the reason, like one of the main reasons for that, aside from the Barnaby thing, one of the main reasons for that is that less than 24 hours after I started this series and I made the first episode and got it started and all this, I got this head cold. And it took me a few weeks to figure out what was causing what kind of felt like an allergic reaction. I thought it was seasonal, but, you know, it also wasn't like a really strong pollen time of year for me. I mean, I thought it kind of was maybe, and I thought maybe I had just gotten a good whiff of a particular species. My seasonal allergies are very hit or miss any given year, so like I just kind of felt like that's what it was. Ultimately, I don't think that's what it was, but be that as it may, I had a 2 or 3 week period. 2 is probably fairer to say. But no, it's probably closer to 3. Yeah. I had about a 3 week period in the series right after it started where, in addition to the stuff with Barnaby and feeling like, and that's to say nothing, by the way, about this nonsense happening. I mean, that was frustrating just on a basic level. But that in combination with these other things was a lot. When I had that head cold and I couldn't quite concentrate as well on commentary, and I sometimes had to pause what I was saying so that my breath wouldn't catch and all this, like I ended up spending the first couple of weeks of time with this series while working very hard on other stuff on the channel, just frustrated that I couldn't devote myself to it more purely, and that there was this annoying circumstantial thing by sheer coincidence getting in the way and making the work of making a good Stellaris series harder than it would otherwise have been. And as a consequence of those various forces combining, and I mean, I suppose it's worth saying too, I think, I'm going to have to go back and confirm this, but I remember thinking out loud within the last 10 episodes or so, I remember thinking out loud, has this happened before? all of this has happened before, and all this will happen again. Like, have I done like a pacifist playthrough on the channel? And I actually think if I go back and and I think about some of the decisions I made, the memory's really vague. It was years ago. My channel was gone for a while, so I would have to really go back and look specifically at the episodes and listen to my old commentary to see what happened. But I think this is what happened with Final Federation 1, where I had this pacifist approach, and the particular way that I was approaching the story and the way that the mechanics played into like gameplay decisions and such. If something happened, I found it generally more difficult using the pacifist approach to maintain the plot. And so alternatively, what happens is I lose the plot. And I think that's largely what has happened in this series. We're less than 1 year away from the end now, by the way, if you haven't been watching. And I think what's happened in this series, I haven't been at the heart of a federation. So without a federation going here, especially, there hasn't really been anything to drive... Oh, hello. I can do another mining district on Iroquois now. There hasn't been anything to drive drama, like at least if there was a federation with members interacting, with bonuses accruing, and with, we could have had some really interesting interactions, for example, with the Latrepians, if we had a federation kind of neighboring theirs. But that's just not the way that this went, because I didn't go the federation building route, partly because, again, it had been a while since I had encountered this issue in a YouTube series on the channel, and now it's obviously hindsight's 2020. It's very clear. Like, I know for a fact, oh yeah, this is not something I should have chosen. The specific combination of things doesn't necessarily work well for drama and for enjoyment in like Stellaris content. The ability to drive a narrative forward in a compelling and consistently entertaining way over multiple days in a daily series. It's not impossible, and I want to make sure that I say this correctly and don't blow past this point. I think there are things that I could have done better across the board in this series. I'm not beating myself up. I've had people tell me they've really enjoyed this series, and I appreciate it, because this series has had its moments for me. This series has had good things happen in it that like have really, made me want to jump out of my chair just because they're so freaking cool. So I'm totally with you on that. Like, the notion that, the series hasn't been a complete bust. So I'm not trying to say that it has been, and I'm not being too hard on myself, but there were a number of things that I probably could have done better. And there we go. Modian Curators won the game with 93,675 score. So at least we won it. I didn't think that was going to happen earlier. And that's an example right there of something that I think will automatically improve in future series. Because I've spent less time with Stellaris in recent years while I was away from the channel, there are just certain like things that I know about like different types of playthroughs and how they can go, that when you lose that knowledge, or if it becomes latent knowledge and you have to rebuild it, the ability to really commentate, and when something happens in a series, like the ability to pivot towards, oh, okay, well, this annoying event just happened, but now this opens up this possibility in the future, and I can angle the story towards that. That ability gets diminished, and now I've got a little bit more knowledge in the back of my mind. So like, I won't necessarily repeat a situation where I feel like, well, what are we going to do? We're not going to win. So I guess we'll just ride out the rest of the series. That's what I was saying about 15 episodes ago, because the Latrepians look like they had the series in the bag, which is crazy because they're down here. I couldn't have been more wrong about that. So, lesson learned. And that's just one example of many. I think there were things, little tiny things, that will improve with time as I play more Stellaris off the channel again and get my knowledge fully back of the game. As I just get back into the swing, this is just my second series back of, doing regular content and also supporting, the news cycle for Stellaris more like I used to around the time the game first came out and in the following years. I think a lot of that stuff will automatically kind of attend to itself. So for those of you who did share the frustration, and not a lot of people expressed it, and I appreciate that because I beat myself up enough without the help. I just said I wasn't beating myself up and I meant it, but hopefully you understand what I mean. Like, I notice things that I can do better on my own quickly enough without them being pointed out. But for those of you who felt like Hadrian, you can do better than this. There were definite moments, especially because of the head cold stuff, where my commentary, I feel like, was not good. Like, I wasn't being coherent in what I was saying to the degree that I know myself to be capable of being. And again, that's not me being unfair to myself. That's me being fair. Like, now, am I saying that's my fault? No, there was a lot of crappy stuff happening. Mainly the fact that I just couldn't breathe for a number of days around the first couple of weeks that this series was out. And that was very upsetting because I was trying to do the best job I could with this first series back in support of a new expansion pack and just didn't. I don't hold that against myself, of course not. So all of this to say, it's been a wild ride. Clandestine Curiosity has. There were some aspects of the game that I didn't get to explore quite as thoroughly as I expected. There were aspects of it that didn't drive the narrative as much as I thought they would. The ancient technology ended up kind of being a non-starter, more or less, in this series. It kind of helped early on, but I ended up mostly removing it from all of my ships by the end of the series, and there wasn't much else going on. So expecting a narrative to develop around a series, or around a species that was really focusing on that aspect, which is what I was going for. I thought, well, there's going to be lots of people going for like the Federation or First Contact approach. Let me lean into the artifact stuff that they added. Didn't quite work out. Which, you know, putting everything I just said aside about things that I could have genuinely done better because of having just come back with the channel and you know, having like the need to rebuild some of my knowledge and, you know, not feeling well for a portion of it. Putting all of that aside, this is gonna happen. Some stories in Stellaris, this is emergent storytelling in games. When you have emergent storytelling, sometimes it just doesn't pan out. And sometimes you do lose the plot, and that's okay at the end of the day. And that's the direction in which I'm ultimately moving with my Stellaris content again. And I just wanted to have a bit of a mea culpa and talk about this at the end of the series, now that we are at the end, and acknowledge that there were things that I think were below my own expectations for myself. And I don't say that to be perfectionist whatsoever. That's the last thing that I want to do, actually. A lot of the content that I've made since I came back, if you didn't know this, if it's not super obvious, a lot of the content that I've made since I came back, I've deliberately told myself, like, don't be a perfectionist. You're not going to be perfect. You've been gone for 2.5 years. Like, just get back into it and accept the fact that there's going to be crappy commentary episodes, and there's going to be moments where you're like rebuilding certain habits. And so that's another huge grain of salt that I feed myself, like, in a positive way. Like, this is something that just is going to take time to rebuild. And I've come, I think, a long way with that already. But anyway, that's going a little bit too deep down the rabbit hole overall. But I wanted to have, like I was saying, that mea culpa, where I was honest about things that the series could have done better. And I would also like to end on that positive note of moving in a direction, acknowledging that I'm moving in a direction where not only am I better able to adapt to some of the things that threw me off in this series, but also when things don't go well, just rolling with it and accepting that sometimes the narrative, because of unexpected gameplay mechanics like the artifacts not working out, the narrative doesn't always play out the way you expect it to. Exhibit A, by the way, the frickin' Dithakans. That was another thing in this series. Like, that was one of the core narrative elements that was driving, when I was struggling to maintain a plot otherwise. I was like, okay, we are going to be like the keepers of galactic secrets, and we're going to fight this devouring swarm that's threatening the entire galaxy that wants to be the crisis. And then they just collapsed like a flan in a cupboard. That was beyond frustrating. And you'll recall when that happened, I almost ended the series because I was so disappointed. didn't even mention that in my recap, but yeah, that was another major element of it. So yeah, sometimes the narrative just doesn't pan out the way that you expect. So it's a good reminder, not only for me, but for everyone who is, you know, not only an experienced player of Stellaris, but also maybe a new player of Stellaris, or someone who's considering playing Stellaris. Just don't get too invested in something that you hope is going to happen, because this game has an amazing way of throwing you curveball after curveball after curveball. And sometimes you can have an amazing story that you could write a novel about, and sometimes you'll just have one that falls apart every single time a coherent narrative starts to establish itself. So all in all, I'm very grateful, not only for everyone who's watched and commented and expressed their enthusiasm and support and their criticism, but also I'm grateful for the fact that we finished this series on the high note that we did. We didn't call it early. We won the freaking series, by the way. That happened. Can't pull up the victory screen now because we actually won. But, or at least I assume we can't. But, yeah, we're done. But overall, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that we managed to finish this series with a bit of dignity, rather than bowing out. Because every now and then we will have to bow out of a series too, but I'm glad this one was not one of those where we pursued that particular, option. This one ended up working out, and I'm grateful for it. And I'm grateful for you. Thank you so much for being here and watching. We are going to have, it looks like we're going to take a day, because if I'm timing this right, then there might be a day where we don't have Stellaris content for a bit. But we are going, just in order to support the game to the maximum extent, we're going to have a Galactic Paragon series launching with the launch of Galactic Paragons. That's going to be at noon on, I believe noon, if I've got the embargo time right, on Tuesday. If I have the timing right in my head, it's either Sunday or Monday when you're hearing me say that. I think Sunday. So we're going to have a day where there's no Stellaris content, but then we'll jump right back in at 4 p.m. Possibly 3. I haven't decided yet. Might be the 3 p.m. slot. We'll have to take a look at some analytics and see if maybe that might work better for some of you. But get ready, because we're going to have a fresh start. We're going to go with an empire that's close to the channel's heart in terms of Stellaris history and content that we did way back in the day. No, I'm not doing Roma Galactica 3 yet, for those of you thinking it. I thought about it, but I'm going to keep that in my back pocket for a little while longer. So, but we are going to go with one that's maybe a similar vibe. So anyway, without saying anything more and without hitting the 1 hour mark, I'm going to go ahead and stop this series. Clandestine Curiosity ends right here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. If it's not your first time or even your second, look for the join button to access unique emotes, badges, and additional perks. New episodes are coming out every day, except for tomorrow, at 3 or 4 p.m. We'll see. U.S. Eastern Time, and comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next series.